minutes every day, or like what's going on here?
It takes like 10 minutes, honestly. Just I'll
Okay.
record like maybe 2 games, 3 games, and then just put it on. It's pretty
So
easy.
if you're an active Wahoosian fan, I've got a question. Why you aren't blocking Reyna?
Uh, I don't know. I just kind of like Omen, so I was just messing around with Omen.
Fair enough. That's I can respect it. You've only been playing for 58 matches. Oh my god, is this your first account?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I just have a fresh palette to work with. What the hell?
uh,
Um, let me get a performance. You have 96 total hours. I'm guessing most of that is in either DM, TDM, or unrated. Most probably unrated, huh?
Unrated and like Swifties with my friends. That's just
Unrated
how I
and
got to level
Swifties.
20.
Okay, let me ask you. Why do you want coaching? And then like, where do you want to go with Valorant? Like, what's our actual goal? Like, what are we trying to do here?
So, um, I just want to get better, honestly.
Uh huh.
And with Valorant, I want to just see how far I can go because
Hmm.
Um, so I started playing Overwatch 2, like when it
Okay.
first started, and I was always like pretty ass at video games.
Uh huh.
But for some reason, like I was able to like try hard and like climb to GM on
Hmm.
Overwatch. So I was like, can I do this on another game as well?
Hmm.
Kind of.
It's
Just
valid.
like to prove something to myself, you know?
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. What is your expected time frame of what you want to attempt to essentially hit Radiant? This is kind of what you're. Are you looking for Radiant? Or are you looking for like Immortal 1 to 3? Is that like kind of what you're
Uh
looking for in terms of like high rank?
Honestly, Radiant would be pretty cool. Like I think I'm trying to aim for Radiant in the long term.
Okay, long term. What's a time span that you're kind of looking for that?
I don't really know like what to expect for that.
Mhm.
Since I really like never played any TAC FPS.
Mhm.
So I'm not like
So
rushing it. Just
okay, yeah,
you know.
that's fair. I was just curious on what you were looking at. So the general rule of thumb when it comes to improvement is consistency day in day out. And making sure you're playing the game like every day. And it seems like you've started doing that, and you're doing good. Um, I do have the question of if we want to play smokes, I think that you should get used to the smoke agents that are best on X map. But one tricking an agent is okay. But if you're gonna one trick an agent, I want you to one trick an agent that's viable on every map. So for example, Omen is really bad on maps like Breeze, right?
Yeah.
And that's like the only map he's actually really bad on. But there's more optimal picks such as Brimstone on Bind, right? Um,
Mhm.
that sort of thing. So my immediate concern is like, okay, if we're gonna pick Omen, I mean you can. For example, Charlatan is like an Omen one trick who got to Radiance on everything. But like for your first 300 hours, the only thing I really want you working on is gunfight technique, and that's it. Like, I don't really care about anything else. How you take your gunfights, why you take your gunfights, how aggressive you're taking your peaks, why you're taking your peaks, why you're taking each fight individually, since I have a fresh slate to work with, I want to ingrain into you all the good habits of how ranked is played. Because you're not trying to go like tier one professional, right? Like that's not like your end to end goal, right? Like you
No.
never. Okay, yeah. So with that being said, then we want to expand into a completely different like tech tree. So I'm gonna explain this. This is like how I vision improvement. Do you watch like? Did you ever play like an MMORPG? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So the way I kind of view improvement is like you have your base. What? Oops, my bad. You have your base of like who you are. So this is you as a player. So we're gonna section this as like P for player. Brushes. So this is P. This is you. All right. And then it breaks down into two separate skill trees, which is this and this. And these are going to be your game sense and your mechanics, right? So GS, Giant Slayer. I'm just kidding. Mechanics, and then moving down forward. So, and then in your mechanics, you have a couple things. So, you actually have three things. Are what your main categories are. Um, so you have your movement. You have your raw aim, and then you have like L plus R sync, which I think is left and right hand sync, which kind of goes into your movement, but it's a combination of all of these. And then you have another tree that kind of goes outwards. This skill tree is kind of known as like your fight decision making, or like why. I consider it the why factor of why you take a fight. I put it into your mechanics, although it's not a mechanics, it's more of a game sense thing. But like to me, the why you're picking a gunfight almost falls in this category. So in reality, a more accurate depiction would be to put it like in the middle and then like put two arrows to both is like why you're taking your gunfight. But this is essentially what I want to train. And for your first like 300 hours, the reasoning behind why you actually do something, or like the game sense, like the macro of the game, isn't as important. If I'm going to be honest, um, but learning the maps and that sort of thing is going to be important. So like that's my next question, kind of following forward, is like, are we cool with just locking Reyna and just fighting people? Is that something that
Yeah,
you're okay with, or have you grown
could do that.
attached to like an Omen play style?
Yeah, I could do that, but it's just like I don't. My question is like, do you start to like play other stuff once you get hired? Because
Yeah, it completely comes to like, I mean, technically, the best way to climb is to play what you find is fun. So if you hate
uh
Reyna and you don't like playing Reyna, then we'll just skip over that and we'll teach you gunfight technique on your agent. But we just also have to learn other things along the way, right? But yeah,
I know I'm cool with Rain.
okay. Yeah, then if you have fun playing Reyna, then we'll just have you start locking Reyna and kind of go from there. So with that being said, I actually have something different that I want to do today. Normally I don't do this, but I'm gonna ask you: is it cool if you want to play 2 games live for me during this 1.5 hours? Is that cool with
Yeah,
you?
sure.
All right. So the first thing I'm gonna have you do is load into a TDM actually, and I'm gonna watch you take some gunfights. And you can stream for me, and then after that, we'll have you play 2 games of Reyna. And then the first game. I'm literally just gonna let you play completely. All I'm gonna do is take notes based off what I see in your gunfight technique and how you're taking it. I'll obviously say some small things maybe,
Okay,
but I just want to say it. And then after that, we'll talk about it a little bit, and we'll go over it, and we'll talk about your main focus of what I want from you. And then we'll just kind of go from there. Okay.
okay,
And then we'll
gotcha.
have you play another game where I'm not backseating you per se, but I'm trying to drill good habits into you of like, this is what I need you to be looking for.
Okay. Um, is there a reason for like TDM over DM?
I think it's better for practicing gunfight technique. And the reason
Okay.
why is because the people always spawn in front of you, which means you can always approach an angle properly without having to worry about somebody spawning behind you and constantly anxiously having like 180 flick behind you.
Okay. Okay.
Now, this is my personal opinion. There is no definitive evidence behind that. I want to preface that. But it's just what
Match
I've learned with private
found.
students is typically people who develop bad gunfight habits or like even, even bad crosshair placement things, um, it can exist because like they'll put their crosshair in a place that doesn't even matter.
They
Um,
have no idea how
and I'll
hard
be
it
like,
is.
oh, okay. Like, why are we putting our crosshair here? And they'll be like, I don't know. It just like made sense. I'm like, no, that just only makes sense in a TDM. So, for example, like people would, I don't know how much you played the map Fracture, but like on Fracture, on B spawn, a lot of people would put their crosshair towards underpass right at the start of the round for no reason. It's one of
Like the
many
ropes.
examples. What's up?
Which one's underpass? Is that the
Or
rope
not under,
area?
yeah, yeah, it's not the rope area. It's like right outside B main when you go, it's tunnel, like the under tunnel thingy.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, can you see my screen by the way?
Yeah, I can.
Is that
You're
okay?
good.
Okay.
But yeah. So we'll just see kind of and go from here. And like the whole idea is just to drill in good habits into you. And then we'll basically what I do is I send people tasks every day um, of what they're doing. So for example, one of your tasks probably will be to VOD review. But like you VOD reviewing won't be you like watching back your own VOD aimlessly. You'll be looking for a specific X, Y, and Z within that VOD to it's basically to hold yourself accountable and understand whether or not you're actually doing what I tell you to. So I think VOD reviewing by yourself and just actively looking for something is a little bit silly when you could just ask for somebody else's opinion on it. Because like when you look for something that you don't know, you usually come to wrong conclusions. That's the way I kind of put it.
Yeah. Usually in the past when I've like vodded myself, it's just like looking at crosshair placement only.
Yeah, it's like you can
That's
really
like the only
only
thing I
VOD
know.
review yourself upon the things that you know itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And these loading screens always take forever.
Oh yeah, it's only TDMs take longer because they're newer maps and they require more for the PC. So bad PCs take a while to load in. That's the only downside to them, which sucks. But to me, I don't know. I think it's worth it. I mean, theoretically, the best way to do it is find a group of 10 people and 10 QTDMs. But that's a little difficult. So. Okay. So you were GM in Overwatch. What role did you play?
Support.
You were a support player. Did you play like were you
Yeah.
like an Ana player or like?
Bap, Ana, Kiriko.
Okay.
I only played Overwatch 2. I didn't really play Overwatch 1. Oh shit.
Okay. This whole time you're fighting, I want you to just always commit to every gunfight. Like even if you feel like you're gonna die, I want you to keep fighting to the death. That's literally it.
Should I be using abilities or no?
Yeah, you can use your heal, you can use your dismiss, you can use your flash. I don't care.
Oh.
Maybe a little misclick in Reno there.
Yeah. I haven't played this character in a while. I
No,
didn't
you're
know
good.
which one was dismiss, which one was heal.
No, you gotta figure it out eventually.
Pathetic.
Okay. You're a very patient shooter, I'll tell you that much.
But I've been trying to like work on like aiming for the head, not like panic spring.
Reloading.
Mm-hmm.
Blocking sight.
You know, it's good. That's, do you do any aim training at all, or do you just, play the game?
Yeah. I've been doing the voltaic ramp warm-up thing, so that's
Okay.
kind of it. And then just doing some... I'll do like 45 minutes of like a range routine.
Okay, so the range routine is like, the spreadsheet you kind of sent to me?
Yeah, it's just where I keep track of like my scores and stuff.
So for the range routine, do you do it before or after you play?
After.
Hmm.
I'll do
And the ramp
the
is before?
ramp before, and then like I'll just eliminate 100 like twice, and then I'll jump into.
And you just hop into a rank game?
Yeah. I don't know why my knife was out.
God. My ult's ready. Get out of my way.
So when you do the range routine, I've got a question. Actually, you know, instead of me asking questions, I'll just have you send me and record the next range routine you do.
I have one recorded from like 4th, 9-4.
Do you have it uploaded?
Yeah, it's in the playlist on my second list on YouTube.
I'll watch it.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Cutting their vision.
They're super dead.
just right now. I'm watching. Everything. You are a. Okay. I'm gonna change your drills slightly. Oh wait, never mind. Actually, wait. I kind of like. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you about one of your drills though.
Okay.
So, this is. I'm gonna look at the over aim medium. All your other drills, I think you're practicing with actually really good technique. I won't lie. Your over aim medium drill. I'm gonna show you to you real quick. When you're doing this drill, I need to make sure that you are not moving your mouse. If you pay attention here, you're gonna go to the right, over aim. You're gonna slightly move your mouse like every time towards the end.
Yeah.
Which is bad,
I
right?
noticed that. I just when I don't do it, I don't know. I just like
Yeah.
miss everything.
So, for example, if it's too fast for you, it is okay to go to slow, by the way. Like, it is okay to do easy bots. Like, if you don't feel like you can do medium without practicing good technique, the whole point of this drill is literally just to get used to adjusting it with your movement. Now, do I think it's like absolutely necessary? No, not really. But this is just something that I need to be practiced effectively. I've not done this in, I don't know, I haven't done this since Hoosh essentially launched it, if I'm gonna be honest. Because I never practice this way, but I do think that I can probably do it properly, seeing as how I have been Radiant multiple times. So if I can't, I'm gonna be a little concerned for myself. Okay, there you go. Do you notice how like when I aim, I have so much time and I'm never moving my mouse? Like even if you miss,
Yeah.
it's okay, right? Like, it doesn't matter. That is not your goal. Like it's just proper technique, and you over aim and readjust back. Like sometimes I'll just choke a little bit, but the whole goal is over aim, move, adjusting your movement. That's like the only thing you're trying to do. And it's gonna help you with your left and your right hand, like whatever it's called. And sometimes I'll mess it up, and that's okay, right? Not a big deal. Basically, what I'm saying is I don't have the best technique, but yeah, the whole point is to make sure. Sorry, I'm a little stuffy and still sick. I'm getting over it. But the whole point is to make sure that you are practicing every drill with like perfect form. And if you can't do it, and you can't do it like and you feel like you're rushing yourself, it's okay to go to easy, right? Wow, I just missed an easy bot. I'm gonna cry. Wow, that guy's dead. But as you get better, you'll be able to land your crosshair closer to the target, kind of, and you'll just like have more time to adjust. But like the whole point is like even if like I'm missing, which I'm awful at. Wow, this drill's weird, bro. I haven't done this in so long, but like, wait, hold on. Okay. Well, like, see, this is like the thing though. It's like even if I'm missing, we just like laugh at it and we move on.
Yeah, and then
But it's
yeah,
like,
GG go next.
yeah, you just go proper technique, right? That's all that matters. Like,
Uh-huh.
and then like after you're able to get like 20 plus consistent, I think is a benchmark he has, like 25. I think it might be 25, and then you can do this, right?
Mhm.
Where you never move your mouse. You're doing this drill. Like I move my mouse there, that's bad technique. I move my mouse there, that's bad technique. And you need to recognize it. You need to force yourself every time to just not use your mouse. But like to me, I'm like so addicted to moving my mouse, so it's like hard. But if you are gonna do this drill, you need to do it right, and that's the number one most important thing. I gotta see if I can get a decent score at least on this. I'm not embarrassing myself too much. Oh, I moved my mouse.
If the whole goal is to like practice aiming with your movement, then how come you have to like over aim and strafe? Like, why can't you
So
just like strafe in
it's
the same direction?
it's very common for a lot of people when they're essentially aiming. Like the whole point of this drill is to practice like the idea of like when you flick to a target, right? A lot of times you'll flick like too far. Oh, I have strafe on. You'll flick too far.
Uh-huh.
And when you flick too far, sometimes like if you land close, it's just better to just do that movement with your keyboard because like you physically can't mess it up. Now, aim trainers might like professional aim enthusiasts. You know, you're in the Overwatch scene. You've seen a lot of aim enthusiasts probably. Might say this is may not be the best, but like in TAC FPSs, like your ability to not only move with your mouse but and your movement itself is like just effective. It's just typically easier for most people. And it gives you that whole idea of like, okay, like let's say I'm here, I can adjust into them. It also helps a lot with like peaks, for example. Like let's say you're just peeking, you're like this, and you just like swing out into them. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're crosshair, like if you're caught off guard, you literally might just be able to move your mouse like into the person that's standing still. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
it kind of gets you more in tune with like both the left and right hand movement and being able to, you know, when you do this like tracking drill like this, I was teaching you left and right hand sync. It's kind of getting you more in tune with that, in like a weird way. At least that's the way I interpret it. To be honest, I don't know if like this drill is like the most optimal in the world, but it's one that I personally never did or never practiced. But I respect the drill because I know it has helped a lot of people. But that's just the number one thing. If I'm gonna be honest, I've never assigned that drill individually to somebody. But when you're first learning the base fundamentals of like moving with your mouse and your keyboard, like it is helpful. But if I'm just gonna be frank with you, I don't have the exact explanation as to what that drill is best used for. To me, the most drills I assign is like maybe 15 to 20 minutes of like different variations. So for like the dead zoning drill or the 100 BPM drill, I assign that, but I call it pole dancing because I think it's funnier. But it's literally the exact same thing, except my goal is when I strafe, I'd put the two cipher trips. And my goal is to stop on the cipher trip while also stopping on the person, and always like trying to do that. Does that make sense? Like, that's the way I do it personally, because I like the idea of attempting to stop on a specific location and then having your brain be awarded with it towards getting a kill. This is what I did when I was first learning the game. But that was me. So I don't really know the purpose of the drill, and personally, it's not my style. But I like the drill itself, as it does help people build a decent foundation, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Of like,
makes
hey,
sense.
we're aiming with our movement. You know, it's something that's not bad. But yeah, you definitely have an insane work ethic, at least it looks like, because my God, you are diligent. I would never, and I mean this, like, I've never seen somebody as diligent as you with this stuff. Like, this is impressive, actually. Like, do you like
No, just
after every
intentional.
run, do you just put it down, or like, do you like go back and
No,
watch it?
I like write it down
You write it down, like,
as like on a piece of paper,
oh, okay,
so I don't have to like tab out and all that. I don't have two
and
screens.
then you just go input the data in afterwards.
Yeah, it's really fast. It takes like 5 minutes total.
Okay, so like each one of these takes like 5 minutes, and then 5 minutes, and like, or what? Or like, oh, putting all the information in
Yeah,
takes
yeah,
five
yeah.
minutes.
Just like total, like putting the information for that plus like
Okay.
the VODs. It's like pretty fast.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. Sh-
Oh gosh. That's fair though. But anyway, with that being said, let's have you hop into heckin' 2 ranked games, and I just kind of want to see how you fight and like why you fight, and what we're kind of doing.
I think I just fight to fight, to be honest.
You just fight to fight.
I'm not really sure. Like I never really, I don't know, never really put that much thought into it. Well,
Yeah.
like I do, I don't know if my thought is correct.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. We'll see though. Yeah, I'm interested because like working with someone from like the most base form foundation is interesting. Never really worked with someone from the start. Normally, I'm like unbuilding people's bad habits, and I'm like, damn. But this is like different. Now we get. I don't know. I think you'll. I mean, the way you're practicing and how diligently you're doing it, I think is good. And once we get your reasoning behind why you're fighting, I think you'll be basically good.
Oh, I'm installing
You're interlocking
basically.
right now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Did she post that on her main?
She did.
Oh,
I wish you could like enter the practice range while you're in queue.
what's up?
Match
gosh.
found.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
wish you could like enter the practice range while you're in queue. Oh, new map.
Oh, sunset. Oh god, this is the first game we're getting on. All right, I know about 5 seconds of this map, but that's okay. So the base principle that I want you to adopt in all of your games is a couple things. So we want to work on your foundation of communication, right? We want to, well, in silver normally I don't have people do this, but we're just gonna start anyway, because it doesn't really matter. We're gonna work on your base foundation of comms. We're gonna work on your base foundation of how aggressive / positioning you should play, because a lot of people don't understand like the map itself. But positioning is like the two things, and then like, so positioning is essentially why you take your fight and why you're in the space that you're currently in, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are the two fundamentals of this game of like what you're doing. And then obviously Rain doesn't have much utility usage, but we'll make sure that you're using your blinds. That's like all we're basically focusing on is comms plus gunfight technique, which we practice and we don't worry about in game. And the reason why we don't worry about it in game is because we put 45 minutes or an hour of practice every day, right? Towards it. And yeah, in this game, we're probably just gonna be working more on like how to fight, why to fight, and like how to approach angles, why we're approaching an angle in the way that we are, if that makes sense, and like how to hold
Okay.
angles.
So just focus on like
With you, I want
fights.
you just to take any fight you feel is right, and I'm just gonna take
Okay.
notes this whole game.
So just play normally, basically.
Yeah, just play normally, basically. But
Oh, okay.
but like in these like sessions, like there's gonna be reasonings behind the stuff that you do, and we'll figure it out. Now, I don't think it's necessarily important for like silver bronze. I'm gonna be honest. Like you can just aim duel your way out. Honestly, you can aim duel your way all the way to immortal. If I'm gonna be real, but we'll build some good habits in, so that way when you get to the rank that you want to be, you'll basically be golden. So,
Okay.
because formulating good habits is the most important things. So, I just want to see what we do in terms of each segment. But other than that, just play normally. What's it called? I want to see what, essentially what we're, or if we're doing the things that I'm looking for.
It's good.
Reina, there are better ways to survive than your path.
Oh, I'm so ashamed. Pobre de me. How will I live with myself?
Where are we? So when you don't know a map, the most general rule of thumb is always rush B.
Really?
Yeah.
Just
When you don't
bum
know a
rush
map,
through main?
so here's the
Okay.
thing: we need reps, and the best way to do it to get reps is just to hit the same site and experiment on that site, and it's just trial and error, right? So we're just gonna go B for the majority of the times. And I'll just say, hey guys, let's go B because we don't know what we're doing, right? That's what I would just tell my team.
Oh. Guys, you want to bum rush B every round?
It's funny.
Feeling sight.
Reloading.
What the?
Well, we learned about a new angle and timing.
Spike down B. Last player standing.
Okay.
As much as this world hurt me, it's mine, and I will kill to defend it. I'll show that brimstone true power.
Shutting them down. One suppressed. Target sighted B. Reloaded.
Spike down mid.
Good attack.
There.
Last player standing.
Let's kill that Reyna. Our team's got soul. I want to keep it that way.
This map is so weird. What, it looks like your team wants to go A? I'm down to go A. I'm down just to send it with our team. Just wherever they want to go.
Okay.
But I would focus really heavily on hitting sites and like getting comfortable around the angles, and I'm gonna add something to your drills to help you.
Goner.
Careful now.
Smoke's down.
Cutting their vision. Don't resist. My ult ready. One enemy remaining. Flawless. Poor miserable creatures.
Never count out the underdog.
When you say like hit sites with my team, do you mean like go with them to B, or should I be lost? Like, if I want to
Honestly,
spend it.
right now, just go fight whoever you want. I'm taking a lot of
Okay,
this. You're
okay.
good. Whatever
Okay.
whatever you do is whatever you decide. I'm down. Sunset is a map that we won't talk about the macro of it, so it doesn't matter. You really
Yeah.
won't talk about macro maps anyway, so
Okay.
Knife deployed.
just fight whatever you feel right and what you want.
Still in sight.
They will cover.
Blind.
What a shot by that Reyna. Holy Jesus.
Reloading.
You see that guy?
Healing you.
Radiant kill.
One enemy
That
remaining.
guy was frying, I won't lie.
What's in here?
I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I'll panic super hard to do the same thing.
They make mistakes.
It happens. Right now you haven't done it yet so far, so I don't care. I'm just watching. I already have a couple things that I think I kind of want to cover.
Here.
But honestly, for a silver one, your mechanics are super solid. Like your foundation
then.
is, I can see it. There's just gonna be time and effort that you have to put in.
Shutting them down. Flash. Target sighted.
Smoke's down.
Cutting their vision.
Reloading.
Still in sight. Adios.
Tango down. Plant the spike.
Smoke's
Suppress it.
down.
Spike got it. My ultimate. Flashbang.
One enemy remaining.
Bagged and tagged. Let's ruin their day.
Reloading.
You know what to do. Smoke's down.
Come on, let's go! Cancel. My ult's ready.
The hunt begins.
No one walks away.
See ya.
Cutting their vision.
Watch out.
Barrier here.
One enemy remaining.
Watch out.
Flawless.
Ain't much room for improvement.
Their lives are so meaningless. Might as well give them to me.
Suppress it. Two suppressed.
Launching slow.
Insane.
Prepare for hellfire.
Cutting their vision. Spike down B.
Deep fried. Spike retrieved.
Last player standing.
Now we're got the spike. Spike planted.
One enemy remaining.
That's three. Molly.
This guy said reload.
Some things
Never
you
mind.
just can't teach.
This is interesting.
Looks like the old dog still got some bite.
Light him up.
Knife deployed.
Launching smoke.
My territory, my rules. I have them now.
Feeling sight.
Watch out.
Return to dust. I've got your trail. Barrier created.
Gotcha. Plant the spike.
Spike planted.
Smoke's down.
What the heck is this crosshair?
Reloading.
I don't know, man. We're in the depths of life right now. We need to. We'll see some interesting stuff. That's all I know. This guy, this guy's name is Basket Boy.
One enemy remaining.
Kill. Suppress it. Watch out. Activate training mode if that's more their skill level. Watch out! Shutting them down. Careful now. Here. Launching smoke.
Okay.
Like I really struggle like if I'm on high ground, knowing where head height is.
Yeah, so there's no way to know where head height is on high ground, especially in an angle like that. It's a really weird angle. The biggest piece of advice I can give you when you're in those situations is to hold wider than you feel like you have to. And the reason why is because you're on an off angle, which is really awkward, right? And if they don't know you're there and they end up running fast, they're just going to swing past your crosshair and your reaction time is going to take a second to catch up, just like happened there. And your crosshair is a little bit tighter to the wall than I would have liked.
Okay.
So that's really all. But I already have a couple things. I just don't want to like flood your head while you're playing, so I just want you to keep playing. But I kind of know where I think your mechanical faults lie, although I think your mechanical ability is slightly higher than what it is. I just think you need playtime right now. I think our biggest fault right now is definitely playtime.
Okay.
It's like, you look like, well, obviously it's on the map Sunset, so it's a little, you know, extra amplified, but.
Reload him. Let's go. Reloading.
Stim beacon down.
One enemy remaining.
So for example there, your peak itself, you notice how you're pressing W while you're running at that guy?
Yeah, I felt that was terrible.
Yeah, that one probably felt bad, right? That's like the most
Yeah,
obvious.
it felt really bad.
The most obvious variation of your movement. So I have a couple drills I think you can add in terms of
Okay.
comfort. So I already kind of like, because I've seen you do that 2 times now. It's not like it was a one-time thing, that's the second time we've seen it. So,
Okay.
Are you?
movement,
I can buy for you.
one direction.
How many rounds are in a half?
12. I almost said 13. Holy Jesus.
It's probably the first time anyone's ever asked you, huh?
Yeah, I've not been asked that question. I don't know how. I just know. I'm like, oh, dude, there's 2 more rounds in this half. That's all I know. Like, I haven't been asked that question in a while. But that's okay.
Shutting them down. 2 suppressed. Careful now. No one walks away.
Cutting their vision.
Launching smoke. Reloading.
Repairing.
Stim beacon here. Launching smoke.
Man, I knew he was in that smoke too, since the smoke was like
Yeah.
like
My advice is when
it's
you're
like
in
a
low or
thing.
elo. This is like a general piece of advice, but like, if you see a smoke in front of you
Spike
and you're
down.
playing Reyna, Reyna statistically isn't meant to go in first. She's meant to go in second, actually. So you can just
Oh.
wait for the smoke to dissipate, and you can either go somewhere else, or you
Okay.
can. There's like a bunch of different things that you can kind of do in that way. But like, I personally just would. Oh, here we go. We're getting back up.
Your duty is not over.
Dead.
Now you're the goat.
Back where I belong.
Let's get it.
Cutting their vision.
Oh, went out.
Flashbang.
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
That's what we call
Spike
greed.
down B.
Retrieved.
Like, you know, the second person is somewhere either sight or market, right? So instead
Yeah.
of going for the heal, you should look to kill. and just go for the dismiss afterwards.
Okay.
That's I mean, that's literally just one of those moments where it's just like you learn it with time that that's just not what you should be doing, right? It's not an overcomplicate. Oh, unlucky.
Rip.
You
Ooh,
won.
okay.
But yeah, that's just like one of those things where it's like, okay, we don't need to heal, but if you can
Last
heal
round
safely,
before the
obviously do it.
switch.
But if you can't,
Don't be cheap. Spend
but
it
for
all before
example,
it's
what you
gone.
should have done there is because you knew you were in some sort of like
Need a drop.
crossfire situation.
Thank you.
You should have grabbed the. You should have instantly dismissed after you got the kill.
And then like went to like.
Went back to B
Here?
main and then looked to take.
You
the
see my
fight.
cursor?
I can't see your cursor, but you would just go
Oh,
back to
like
B
should I
main.
went to like here?
No, you would have went to B main because you don't know if that deadlock's backside.
Okay.
So you would have went to B main and you would have chilled. That's the way you would have approached it.
Knife deployed. One suppressed.
Could be close.
There. Flash.
Smoke's down. Stim beacon here.
My ultimate's ready.
Parasite.
Reload him.
Reloading.
Feeling sight.
Enemy down. Molly. Enemy in defender spawn. Reloading.
Reload him. Come on, let's go.
Feeling sight.
Spike planted.
One enemy remaining.
Smoke's down.
Yeah. So you have this thing
You're
in like
just like everyone
advantage situations, right? Where it'll be like post plans or it'll be 4v2.
Switching
And you'll
sides.
kind of resort to hiding. I'm just noticing it. I don't want this
Smokes
habit
can
to ever
block the
form.
enemy's line of
So
sight.
instead of when you're like
Blind.
4v2 or like when you're up numbers and you can consciously recognize that you have a pretty big advantage, right? Instead of looking to hide, look to find a teammate and fight anything with them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's how I want you to change your mindset. So you saw how you started walking towards that stage eventually, like to after she was fighting the person. But I want you already on top of the stage and fighting together. That's like
Okay.
the only thing that I want changed in terms of like decision making, right? Because I just noticed in the mid round a lot of times you'll hide after you get a big advantage and just sit in a corner.
Yeah.
I don't want that. That's a bad habit.
I just like don't know what to do usually.
Yeah, so just find a teammate and go fight with them. This whole game is about gunfights, and obviously taking one with a teammate is better. So if you can, just always fight with somebody, but if you can't, it's okay to fight alone.
Spike down B.
Cutting their vision.
This guy. Oh,
Yeah, sure. Small thing, you could have jumped and dismissed there. Like jumped and saw it. 'Cause I feel like you were probably clicking the dismiss button, but couldn't get it. I'm not sure if you
Spike
actually were.
planted.
nah. I'm just not used to playing Reina yet. I think
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not like
you-
thinking about
You
stuff like
wouldn't,
that.
you wouldn't have been able to
Player
get the dismiss anyway if you didn't jump, so you might not have even.
One
able to
enemy
jump,
remaining.
so.
Shut them down.
We spawned to the left. Uh-oh. Wait, maybe I heard it wrong? I'm not sure.
Nice knowing you.
No way. Okay.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny.
Can't say the same for you, fragile humans.
I'm down for you to go sell your leaders and go. So the way I always tell people to worry about this is full armor first, not gun first. Full armor first, and then whatever gun you want, and then any utility you can purchase after this. So for example, like if you want more utility, then you could pick a different gun, but it's always full armor first whenever you one pistol round. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
The reason why is because they're on bad weapons essentially, and bad weapons do less damage, so more health equals better. 'Cause they won't one shot you.
Bunch of guys mid.
Many enemies B.
Careful now. Someone's mid.
Out of presence.
Reloading.
Oh man.
Spike planted.
Watch your eyes.
Suppressing. One suppressed.
Going up.
Target sighted A.
Watch your eyes. Someone's A.
Just-
One enemy remaining.
Wall raised. Here. Blasphemous.
That was better. You felt like you were low HP, and you ran with your teammates, and you fought together. That was good. Go light armor here, by the way. We'll talk about econ management more later, but there's a specific reason you go light armor this round. Basically, it's just better econ management for future purposes.
Just to have a full buy next round.
Kind of, but like, basically they're gonna have big boy guns, and big boy
Yeah.
guns one shot you to the face, and they four shot you to the body either way. The only thing full armor for is like chip damage and eco weapons. That's the only thing full armor is for, which is why you prioritize full armor on the second round, if that makes sense. Oh, that Rainy got owned.
Enemy spotted B.
Nice.
Oh my god, I should have done that.
That was
Spike down mid.
a learning
One
experience,
enemy
is
remaining.
what we'll call that one. Basically, your dismiss is used to reposition or escape or get information. That's the whole point of
Yeah.
your dismiss. So you already had the info that they were there. You didn't need to reposition anywhere because your teammate was on the other side. And you didn't need to escape because they weren't fighting you yet. So all of those conditions weren't met, but we'll talk about that after. But yeah.
Honestly, I was trying to get the info because I didn't know they were there.
Oh, you had audio that at least one person was there, and therefore you should look for the gunfight instead.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, I knew someone was there, but I guess I was just trying to like. Yeah, but it makes sense. I got you.
Yeah, no, you're good. You knew someone was there, but in your head you're like, I want to know how many. But that's irrelevant to us, if I'm gonna be honest, in that situation, because we're not calming to our team, right? And since we're not calming to our team, it doesn't fucking matter if we know how many. We just know one, and we gotta prep for our fight. Does that make sense? Because that's all we're
Yeah.
practicing during these games is our fights.
My territory.
Spike
my
down
rules.
B.
Spike spotted B.
Careful now. Watch out.
Grenade.
I feel like I'm almost going nowhere trying to fight with the Phoenix.
No, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. That's exactly what I want. I was actually smiling watching you follow your Phoenix, so I like it. As long as your Phoenix is fighting, you're fighting.
One enemy remaining. 30 seconds left.
Shutting them down. One suppressed.
Flash. Right.
Defenders win.
No rest required.
Okay, so we'll talk about a very few things. I don't want to overflood your brain So we're not going to talk about too many movement things other than just making sure we focus on moving in one direction. I almost did the OD26 coach thing where I overspill. I saw a lot of micro mechanics that we were messing up, but we're not going to focus on those for now because they're not bad habits. You just don't understand when to input them, and that's okay. But the thing that I want to focus on was your 80 movement, your positioning, in terms of like advantage situations versus not advantage situations, right? Like when you were looking and following that Phoenix, you're like, man, I feel dumb, but that's exactly what I wanted. I don't care, just follow that guy and look to take the gunfight, and I'm happy, right? Like you do that every time, I'll be happy. Now that guy might be a little silly, goofy, he might be a little dumb, but it's okay. And then we'll talk about something to get you more familiarized with the maps quicker, because I can tell, well, on Sunset specifically, but I'm guessing this is an every map thing, where you're just uncomfortable on certain maps because of your playtime. Because you have very little playtime, right? So there's probably a lot of maps where you're unfamiliar with how angles work and how you're exposed to them, right? And
Yeah.
so we'll get you used to that. So that's called dry running, and we'll implement that into your little training or your task regimen today. But movement, all I want is making sure your focus direction. I want to talk to you about how angles work when you're holding and what you should be doing versus when you're holding, right? So when you're holding somebody or you're holding somebody to peek you, essentially, you want to hold. Okay, there's a lot of conditions to be met here, but the basics are if you are holding on an on angle. Do you know what an on angle would be?
Like somewhere normal.
So, like for example, this would probably, as this map gets more developed, would be an on angle, right? Because like when you peek out, you're probably gonna clear it. You're probably gonna go here, you might go here, and then you might go here, right? This would be considered an on angle where somebody's gonna stop. Sometimes you decide to hold tight like this, and sometimes you decide to hold wide. Can you tell me the difference between when you do these two things?
Wide for off angles.
Wide for off angles, tight for on angles when you're playing
Mhm.
on, right? That's the only difference. But sometimes you'll be holding an on angle and you'll just hold really tight, and I'll be like, okay, or like an off angle. I mean, you'll hold like this. And I'll be like, oh, interesting, right? It's just like one of those things where it's like you got to make sure that you're always consciously aware
Yeah.
of it. So that's number one. But like, it's nothing crazy. Movements, there's a couple times where you would peek like this, walking around. You'd be like
Yeah.
this, and it obviously looks really bad, and it looks silly. So let's just make sure that we're diligently peeking our angles. Now, here's the thing. I don't want you, because I saw you do this in tiles, actually. I don't
Where's
want
tiles?
you. This is called tiles. So this is a map,
There.
tiles. But I saw you do this when you were going this way. You peeked every angle very scaredly. You're like inching out on every angle. You're like, eh. And you're like trying to cut like every single segment of every map. So when you're walking, you can peek the angle and then you can walk for the off angles, kind of. Well, it's not always like that, but basically I want you just to like scale a little bit faster and be more confident that your tracking is gonna reign supreme. And then when there's an angle where you feel like someone might be, so if you feel like somebody's here, you peek it with the intent to kill. Feel like somebody might be here, you peek it with the intent to kill. If he's in the off angle, whatever, right? But I want you peeking each angle specifically, because when you peek, you just see any corner, you're like, I must clear, right?
Yeah.
And that's not how I want you approaching gunfights, because that's unrealistic. Because you don't know, like, you would literally cut like this. Here, 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 here. I saw you
Yeah.
do this, and I was like, bro, we can't be doing that, right? It's like this, most common off angle, probably right here, most likely.
Okay.
So it's this, and then it's the next corner, right? That's all I want. If you cut every angle, and you, like, quote-unquote, slice the pie on every single off angle, it's going to take you too long. So on your most common off angles, you just want to cut the ones that you feel are most right. Now, following this, what I want from you is to understand the difference between when you can walk around the corner and when you should, if you know what stutter stepping is, stutter step. Because you tried to do it where you'd like go forward and still be quiet, but you make
Yeah.
noise. It was kind of funny. But like, you like go peek it and you'd make a little audio step because you don't know how far you can walk. In case you don't know, 1.5 steps is as far as you can go. So 1/2. Right? 1/2. Right? It's like a weird feel, but you'll notice the second I take 2 steps. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right? You hear the step. That's exactly how it should be. I'll turn up the audio for you here.
Oh yeah. Okay, I can hear it now.
1, 2, 1, 2. So 1.5 is as far as you can go without making a step. Right? This is like 1, and then this is like 1.5. Right? And it takes you 2 steps to get to full speed as well. In case you're unaware. But So that's just something you should be aware of with stutter stepping if you are. But I want to know when you should peek fast versus when you should peek slow. Can you tell me the answer? Or like when it's okay to peek slow? Like walk around an
Slow.
angle. Like this, like walking around an angle, even though you're peeking slow. When is it okay versus when is it not?
I guess walk when you don't think there's actually someone that's gonna be there, but you still want to clear it.
Wrong. Try again. I want you to try again because I think
Okay.
it's a fun game to play.
Uh,
Like, should I walk on this angle? You think?
no.
Why?
'Cause you're an easy target for the
Yeah.
guy if someone's
You're an
holding
easy
it.
target, but why? Okay. Now, what if I told you walking to expose yourself to this person from here? Like, let's say this person's right here. Walking to expose yourself is okay.
He's on high ground.
No. So the way it works is called angle advantage and disadvantage, right? So when you're closer to a wall, you have to peek them quickly because you're already at the disadvantage, right? If that makes sense. Like you're already at a disadvantage, so you have to make up for that disadvantage by going quickly, right? So this is why on this angle you have to be moving like full speed or attempting to peek quickly. But if you have the angle advantage, it is okay to peek slowly. Now, if you know exactly where the person is, do not peek slowly. Peek fast and kill them, right? But if you don't know and you're scaling up the map, I notice you would like always try to stutter step on every angle. But the general rule of thumb is if you have this advantage, it is okay for you to continue walking and just pressing forward. Does that make sense? Because you
And
have
you
this
have that
angle
advantage.
You have this advantage because of how angles work in this game. So pay attention to how I'm farther from the angle. Actually, this will be easier. Can you add me on Valorant and I'll load you into a game and then I'll compare your screen share to the actual game itself.
Yeah.
Because I think a visual representation will be the easiest.
Your tagline.
Coach.
Oh.
COAC.
OD26 coach.
Yeah. You know this account, my main account got banned for hacking? That's a joke, by the way. I just switched main accounts, so this one's Ascendant 2 currently. So just ignore that. Okay, so I'll leave the game here, and then I'll let in the sunset, and we'll show you this exact angle that I was talking about. Drew, can you request me an invite, actually, because I don't see you online?
Oh, sorry, I have the deceive thing on.
Oh, you have deceive? All right, so go to attackers here. All right, I'll go to attackers, it's fine. I'll just go ahead and start here.
Because, like, I want to, like, solo queue
Mm-hmm.
to see how far I can get on my own, but my friends sometimes want to play comp with me, so
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. My high recommendation is get an account that is a second account where like you'll do all your drills and all your stuff for the day, and then whenever they want to play, you just hop on that other one and just be like, and now you can use it. Oh, I have a coach. Coach said I have to solo queue. Now you have your excuse, right? So that's just like
I actually just did that last
Yeah,
night. Like, I
yeah.
started an account to do my DMs in.
Yeah. So like from now on, you can literally say my coach says that I have to solo queue. And then boom, you're good. So go mid, and I want you to stay on top mid. You're gonna have to tab out since you don't have a second monitor, but I want you to stand on that corner, and I want you to tell me when you see me. You see me right now? Oh wait, hold on, wait a
Hey,
second.
hold on, let me switch.
What's up? Oh wait, this is awkward because there's this thing here. How do I want to do this? How do I want? Because this thing's here. Okay, yes. Just stay there. Stay there. Don't move. Can you see me?
No.
Can you see me?
No.
Can you see me?
Yeah,
Can
a
you
little
see me?
bit, like
Can
a
you see me
sliver.
now?
Like a pixel.
Can you see me now?
No.
Okay. Now, pull up the tab and pull up the stream.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, so I can see this is how first-person games work because you have to think the way your
Do you see me
vision
from up
works-
here?
What's up? Yeah, I can still see you. It doesn't change anything.
Oh my god.
So the way first-person shooters work is your vision comes right out of your head, right? So this right side of your body will, or like any side of your body will always be exposed towards like other things when you're closer to the wall, right? So for example, like you can probably go out and just walk peek, and like I'll try to hold you. I'm gonna be honest. Try to kill me. Turn on auto respawn here. Auto respawn. I'm just gonna hold.
Wait, where did you walk out from?
Yeah, just stay over here, like stay on this side and just like slowly walk out. I'm gonna be on an angle holding for you, and I'm just gonna be standing still, like as if I was holding normally, and see if you can kill me. Okay, well I definitely hold on. Wait, I think I have invulnerability on. My bad. Okay, just walk like full shift. and just react when you see me. Like, roughly, I definitely could have killed you with better crosshair placement, but you notice how you're shooting first, even though I'm, like,
Yeah.
prepped for you? Now, take
Yeah.
that into a silver player, right?
Mhm.
And it's going to be completely different. Like, they're going to have an even slower reaction comparative to me, where it's the same thing. So if you go all the way back there, the farther you are, the bigger the advantage you technically get. So just react whenever
Same
you
thing?
yeah, whenever you see my head, just try to shoot me. Like, shoot me in general. Like, I actually tried to shoot. I didn't even get a shot off. You know what I'm saying? Like, the farther away you go, the bigger the disadvantage I have. So
Okay.
that's why you're able to walk, because it doesn't matter. If that makes sense.
So this is because I'm further from this wall,
You're further from the angle that I'm
and
holding. Yes. Then yeah. So
and this wall is like closer to
the way
you.
you can always gauge it is if you want to pull up the stream, I'll show you. So whatever wall is the angle that they're peeking from, this is like, let's say this ping, 6 meters here. Whatever wall it is, then you can ping that exact wall, and whoever's further away always has the exact advantage. So this is a wall. So notice I'm 30. Oh wait, no, I'm not. I'm 31 meters from this wall versus 6 meters, right? It's just whoever's further away has the technical advantage. Now, within 2 to 3 meters, it's about the same. It's a 50-50, right? But if you're 10 meters plus, it's a massive advantage, if that makes sense. So it's always whatever wall they are closest to. This exists everywhere. So like, let's say, for example, I was holding this, like I was on this wall, and it was 6 meters, and I was holding like this. Meanwhile, you're over here, and you're at 14 meters. So the closer the person is to the wall, the easier it is. So like, for example, can you stand right here? And just stand as close to this wall as possible. So stand like this. Like, if you want to tab and see, stand exactly how I'm standing basically now. Like, hold on, tab and see. Stand like you're like this, essentially. You're holding this angle. And then the closer you are to the wall, you'll notice, now tab out, and or like, here, wait, hold on. Tell me when you can see me, okay?
I can see you. Or a little bit,
you see
like a
me here?
pixel.
Can you see me here?
Pixel on your foot, but I don't think I would see that.
Can you see me here?
No.
Okay. Now, notice how close you are to the wall. Now, what I want you to do is pull up the tab. Like, pull up the watch. Look at how much I can see of you.
Yeah.
It's massive, right? So the
Wait, can I back up and see how
Yeah.
what the difference is?
So back all the way up to the wall. I can't see you anymore.
Oh, that's cool.
So now, like, now I can see your shoulder though. But like, you're probably pretty close to
see
being
you.
able to see. Can you see me?
No.
How about now? Oh wait. Oh shit. Don't move.
Sorry, I moved.
Okay. Just stand still.
Okay. Okay.
Can you see me?
No.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
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 Can you see me?
No.
Okay. So you can't see me there. Now look at the difference. You notice how there's less of your body exposed?
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is the same concept. So if I walk close, can you ping the box and tell me how many meters you are?
It's 8.
8. Okay. Can you see me?
Yeah.
So notice how we can both see each other at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to geometry. But yeah, that's
Back in high school.
essentially-
Let's go.
That's essentially how it works, right? And that's like the biggest thing I want you thinking about, because I noticed a lot of times you would either randomly stutter step and not be sure when you have to peek fast. And I just want that confidence to be in your head of like, oh, I can shift walk this angle, right? Like I can shift walk here. Oh, I'm closer to this angle. I have to fast peek, right? Does that make sense? Like, oh, like I'm closer to this wall than this wall is to me. I have to fast peek here, right?
Okay.
Okay.
And should I always try to be as far away from walls as possible?
Okay, that has a stipulation. So now this is the next thing we're going to talk about. This is about how to approach the fight, the gunfight itself. So we're going to go back and you're going to open up stream, and I'm going to show you what something called T protocol is. This is how you teach it to most people when you're learning, if I'm going to be honest.
I think I saw a video on that.
Yeah, it might have been,
Royals.
it would have been by Worthy TV. He's a good guy. But it's called T protocol, or essentially how you should approach an angle. Here, let's say I want to peek this guy here, right? If I
You're
wait.
tabbed out.
Oh, I'm tabbed out. Oh, heckin' nuts.
This is
Oh, nuts. Let me go ahead and fix that. Okay, it's only letting me stream Valorant. That's not very poggers. Hold on, let me leave and rejoin. Okay, there we go. Now it'll let me screen share. You.
yeah, that's been happening to me too.
Yeah, I don't know. Discord's been bugging. Okay, so let's say you want to peek this guy on this angle here, right? Theoretically, you would think, okay, now I'm farthest away from this corner, so it's best for me to stay on this back wall, right?
Oh, I saw this exact example. Yeah.
Yeah, so
got you.
this is bad because you are peeking at an obtuse angle. You can see it here. It's obtuse.
Like
So
slower?
basically, you're going to be pressing. Remember how we talked about when you rounded that corner and you press W to peek the guy? That's essentially what you have to do if you push your back against this wall. You have to press W and A at the same time, right? Because there's no way you can peek this guy. Or if you're pressing A, it's going to act as if you're pressing W as well, because there's no way you can peek that. So instead, what you do is you visualize the angle that you want to peek. You draw a fake straight line of where it would be, right? Whatever. That's about, straight. We'll rock with it, right? And then you imagine this is the end point that you want to be at, and then you draw a T through it, right? So this is the end point I want to be, so I draw a straight line through it. So it's like here, I want to be here, and then I draw this straight line, and now I draw the right angle line to go. So I'd go on approach on this line, right? So it's the exact same concept. So instead, if we go back into game now, let me go ahead and change my screens. Because ideally, you do want to be as far back from the angle as possible, theoretically, right? But you can't just hug the wall. So let's say I want to peek this guy here. This is a pretty similar example, right? If I peek like this, you can see I'm moving slow in the sense that like it feels like I'm slowed down. So if I take a step forward now, and I visualize this like little angle here, visualize this angle, I'm like, oh, okay. So I want to land about here. So now I'm just going to right angle peek it. Notice how I go faster?
Yeah, a lot faster.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly how you'd want to approach the situation, essentially. So you can visualize this at any angle where you're physically closer to the wall than they are to the wall. So for example, this is closer, right? But I want to peek right here. Okay, instead of staying on this back wall and peeking like this, that's bad because I'm going to move slow. So I'm going to take my step forward, and then I'm going to peek. Notice how I'm still pretty damn close to the wall, but I'm not on the wall, right?
Yeah.
Get rid of the idea that you have to be attached to a wall. But yeah, that's that. That's kind of all I really wanted to essentially cover in terms of like the things movement-wise you're doing wrong. Ability usage, you'll get more playtime on Reyna. But I noticed a lot of times you throw your leers either at head level or at foot level. They should either go up or they should go down. So when you're throwing them up, this is kind of when you're exploding through a choke. But when you visualize a leer, so Reyna's leer is essentially a denial of vision towards anyone that's exposed to it. So let's say you want to peek this guy top mid, right? So instead of throwing the leer out here, right, you would want the leer to end on the angle that you're peeking because you want to deny this angle of vision. Does that make sense? So you would throw it up on the angle of vision. And I just noticed that sometimes you would throw it out here and you'd swing. Oh, whoops. My bad. That was pure reaction. My bad. But like sometimes
I was getting the same urge to shoot earlier.
I don't know why. I just I just needed to shoot something. But if you throw it out here, notice how if somebody's opping here, you just died. Right?
Yeah.
So this is the only thing that I really want to talk about with leers is one, throw them high or throw them low, and then always envision the angle, the specific angle you want to blind itself, right? Or like, for example, understanding where the most angles you can blind are for your specific situation, if that makes sense. So, but let's say you're at a close angle, right? Let's say you're trying to clear somebody out of like this general area and you want to blind him. You would think maybe blinding high and you're hitting the angle, right? You're hitting the angle essentially. The problem with blinding high now becomes, oh shit, they can walk forward and deny the blind, right? So when you're clearing close angles, it is better typically to throw it low on the angle. But if you're clearing a lot of angles at a far distance, it is better to throw it high on the angle. That's how it works, okay?
Okay.
That's the only things you really need to remember for Reyna layer, and you can watch this back because I'm recording all of this, so you can always, like, let's say you forget. You can either, one, watch it back, or two, you can be like, OD, what are the rules for Reyna layer again? And I'll just copy paste it. But yeah, that's kind of, that's all I really want to talk about with the whole Reyna layer thing. And then heal or dismiss, the general rules of thumb, if you only see one person, you're allowed to heal. If you see two people, you're supposed to dismiss. And we can talk about specific purposes. But for that's all I kind of really want you to focus on with that for now. What is it? And that's kind of it. I want you to hop into a second game, and I want to queue a second game.
Okay.
That's it.
So for dismiss, like, what's it called? They can see you unless I'm ulting, right?
Yeah, they can see you, but it doesn't really matter because you're going to be playing around angles. Like, for example, you shoot, dismiss, you're on this corner, you undismiss because you're safe now. Right? That's it. Like, they can see you, though. Yeah, you're visual. You have this little silhouette of your body.
Got it.
But it's also a cleanse, by the way. So, for example, if you're in a sage slow and you press dismiss, you won't be slowed while dismissed. The only thing that still affects you is if you got bullet tagged. Because in case you don't know, when you get shot, you get slowed down. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and start your stream, we'll have you play your second game, and then that'll be it for today.
Okay. I have like 1 minute to use the restroom really quick.
Yeah, you're good. I have to use the body too. I won't lie. I'm back, by the way. Why can Sorry. I am now. I was muted before. I just unmuted the second past that.
Match found.
No trio.
No way.
Oh, you got sunset again? Wait, this is lit. All right, cue it again.
They have no idea how heartless I am.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Well,
Huh? I mean, yeah. You can hang out with them still. I don't care. All right. It's all right. You're gonna own everyone. That's all I know. Just keep literally the only thing you need to focus on is just play your game, and just kind of consciously take those things into account. But you shouldn't overthink. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
mechanics. Mechanics
Probably
have
Lord's
to
Day.
kind of come with time, right? Like
Mhm.
they're gonna be unconscious, or they're gonna be conscious until you can make them unconscious. Does that make sense?
So what I did to like improve in like Overwatch is like I would just go in each game and like only think about one thing. Does that like apply here as well to Valorant?
What's up? Sorry, can you say
Like
that again?
to get better at like Overwatch, I would like have one goal and then like in mind, and then I'll go into that game only focusing on that one goal, even if it meant like everything else went to shit. And then
I'm of the preconceived notion that games aren't that simple, but yeah, ideally, like you have a main focus, but you still play the way that you're supposed to, like not the way you're supposed to play. So, for example, let's say where the way we approach
I
angles
dodged.
is what we're like hyper focused on, then we can just do that, right? But let's say the thing that we're focused on is like communication, and we can focus on comms, right? And you want to keep calming,
Yeah.
right? But
Match
like
found.
hmm
it's like very hard to say one thing specifically because when I think of one thing, I'm like the way you throw your blinds, like But it's like one broad concept you want to focus on. If that makes
Okay,
sense.
gotcha. Yeah.
Especially with TAC FPSs, there's more time in the game to slow down to even give you time to think in the first place. If that kind of makes sense. So it's like you don't really necessarily need to focus on one thing at a time, but yeah.
Can you see my Valorant tracker or just
I can
Valorant?
I can pull it up, but I can't see your tracker now.
Oh, because
You have
the
you have
overlay right now says the sky has a 17. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Oh, you have the tracker app installed? You should delete that. That shit is bad for your mental. That is atrocious for your mental.
I just like to. So I got it because I wanted to keep track of like if my
Match
headshot percentage was going
found.
up.
Uh-huh. Yeah, don't worry about that stat. The most irrelevant stat in the world. I'm 100% honest.
Oh,
Headshot
really?
percentage does not matter. There's no correlation between headshot percentage and whether you win or not.
How heartless I am.
You want to know why?
Hmm?
Because if you play agents that do, like any agents that have damaging abilities, or for example, blinds that like you can quote hit them, your headshot percentage goes down for those characters.
Oh, what the?
On top of that, let's say you're on a half buy and you decide to buy a Bucky because you have a read there and you go to the site, and then your headshot percentage for that game is worse. You might correlate that to like, oh, I played worse that game. In reality, no, you just bought a Bucky a couple rounds because you had the read and you had a shotgun and it made the most sense, right? There's so many situations where headshot percentage doesn't matter. For example, if somebody's 120 hit for 120 and you aim at them for the head, you're trolling because they're one shot to the body. You know what I'm saying? So you just aim for the body, right? It's like there's so many situations like that where there might be circumstances where aiming for the head no longer makes any sense, right? So yeah, that's why I tell people never to worry about that stat. And honestly, your headshot percentage, like 23%, it's like standard, it's average. There's no reason to even look at it anymore. If your headshot
Okay.
percentage was 9%, I'd be a little worried. I'd be like, all right, what's going on here, right? But other than that, don't worry about it. Like, it literally does not matter because as long as you continue practicing your drills, it will just go up naturally. But you never have to look at it, like ever. But yeah, the biggest thing that I need you to do is play X number of games a day the way you're doing it right now, and you should be good. As long as you're putting in, let's see, how many hours per day did you say you had? If you don't mind me asking. 3
I
hours
could
a
do
day?
at least 3.
Okay. So that means
Like
you can.
some days probably more. Some
Okay.
days maybe like 2.5, but like mostly probably pretty much
So
3.
our biggest aim is 3 games per day. That is our biggest main focus out of everything. That's my number one, at least. And then
The
on
format
longer
I'm
days,
doing it right now, okay or no?
yeah, the format you're doing right now is pretty good. But like just min maxing is like
Only a weapon.
always prioritize your warm up and the 3 games, and then your drills, right? And then let's say for example you know you have extra time that day, then you could add a 4th or a 5th or a 6th. But basically the way you're doing it right now is good. You're actually like right on the right path, and we're just gonna keep picking Reyna. And I want you just to take the fights that you feel are right and go from there. Because anything else to me doesn't matter except for when you're in those like massive advantage situations. You should never look to hide. It's always how can I take my next fight. Does that make sense? That's the mindset I want you to get in.
Is this head height? This little box?
There.
I have
I mean,
no clue.
does that
if I'm gonna
cover
give you the
the
honest
thing?
answer? I am not sure because I'm not used to this map because it came out
Turret
today.
out.
No, that is not. Head height.
Impeccable kill.
Good choice. 150 there is always good.
Spike down A.
I'm down. That fight wasn't like you thought there was gonna be 1 and then there ended up being 2. It's okay.
It was okay to like wide swing that since I thought it was.
Yeah, you thought there
Player
was 1,
standing.
and it just so happened that there can be 2. I think your initial peak needs to be more confident in the sense that you're peeking with the intent to kill. Because to me, it looks like you're peeking with the intent to almost run away. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think this guy?
Like a lot of
reps?
times I'll do the peak and then like I'm just not
I feel like
ready
this
and
guy's
then I
gonna
get
come
shit
from
on.
this K of his left.
Holy shit! Horror game.
Oh my god. Oh, he lost. Nice try. Wait, what happened? No defuse?
Net deployed. One suppressed.
Oh, no. Wait, he lost.
He got it. He got it.
Oh, do you think he wins? Oh!
Armor? Oh, nice.
Okay, nice. Guy said Omen bought armor, so cringe, but that's like the buy on Omen.
Good. One
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've been
Omen's-
doing Ghost and like.
No, it's armor, 2
smoke and
smokes.
TP.
Armor, 2 smokes, blind. Full armor, weapon of your choice. There will be one thing that I'll say on Reyna. It's typically better to go 2 heals, so I usually prioritize the Bulldog because they're not gonna have light armor anyway. That's my priority. But the Guardian does carry in a 3rd round better, so it's really up to you and which one you prefer.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking with for bonus.
It's whichever one you prefer. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, small thing. Never peek an angle while ADS. Just letting you know. Okay, I just threw this guy's kill.
Pathetic.
placing swarm grenade.
Reloading.
Enemy spotted.
Cutting their vision.
Here.
Pathetic.
Planted. Here.
Suppressing.
One enemy remaining.
So, as you can see, your average silver player likes to hide, right? You saw that Sage? She was like, why are you next to me? She was like scared, right? But for now, it's okay. As you get better and better, we'll teach you more ways to play off of your teammates, peek off me's, proper crosses, that sort of stuff. But for now, just follow your buddy.
Okay. Doesn't matter who I pick. Just.
Yep, when you're in those +2 situations, just follow your buddy and you'll be great. because you're still looking like it's follow them, but like also use like, you know, your minimap usually to follow them, and then just focus on taking the gunfight. Oofda.
Finished.
Nice. They got you up that up
Weapon
down.
here.
They were double holding you.
Barrier created.
Nice shot, by the way.
Shutting them down.
Cheese ball. What's he doing?
Oh my god.
Reloading.
Reloading. Multiple flashbangs.
Last player standing. Spike down mid.
Flashbang. I will fulfill my purpose.
Alright, we get Vandal and we're chilling. And we just go keep taking our fights. Welcome to TDM with Elo. That's the way I consider sub. We'll probably do this something similar, but like we'll start introducing things. For example, when we hit gold, I'm gonna start introducing communication to you. And once we hit plat, we're gonna introduce more and more things. Like every rank that you hit is kind of like that stepping stone of like when we want to introduce a new fundamental, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But for now, it's all gunfights.
Turret out.
Thing again.
Reloading.
Shutting them down.
Placing swarm grenade.
Two
Swarm
suppressed.
grenade out. Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out. One dead. My ult. Your duty is not over.
Thanks for the reboot.
Found them.
Parasite. My ult ready.
Yeah, it's one of the best silver players I've ever seen. I don't know, I'm watching him and like, he's just like a very fundamentally solid silver player.
Suppress it.
This guy, and I'm coaching. I didn't, but he offered me $600. And he said he just wanted to coach, and he said he had well play time, and
Flash.
no, it's definitely easy.
Oh, wait,
He was just missing a couple things.
Throwing charge.
No, I'm not.
One enemy remaining.
If that's what you believe. Silver won when I first started. It's like supreme.
Let's make a plan, then execute.
Bronze when I started.
No, man, it's always extended.
Yeah, but it's all improvement based, babe. It's not about natural talent.
Yeah, but
Hold
that's
on.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm sorry you're
Okay. Where we going? What we doing? Why are we AFK? Are you good?
Sorry, 1 second. I just got a text.
No, you good. I was getting told that I was wrong by my girlfriend as well. That's why I was muted. Shit, real life stuff happens. That's okay.
Right? Can't just live in the online world. Disappointing.
He's such an understanding gentleman too. He just laughed. He said real. He probably sounds 19 or 20.
Feeling sight.
I didn't ask, to be fair. Huh?
Oh
After the session.
Spike down A.
Come on, what? Okay, you're right then. Huh?
Flashbang.
What would you like me to make you? I can barely cook a pizza.
One enemy
Nice,
remaining.
good dismiss. I like that from him. No,
The spike.
stick with your buddy. Stick with your buddy. No. Yes? Realize it? No.
One suppressed.
No. Go stick with your buddy. This is okay.
30 seconds left.
Yep, he's on a farther angle, so he's walking. He fast peeks at close ones. Probably rapid. I was really hoping. Okay, dismiss, beautiful, good use of it, right? Like that. I was really hoping you would have recognized that it was like 2v1 and you were just gonna stay next to your KO and walk together. It ended up happening, but you walked away from him originally. That's okay though.
Yeah, I was thinking about going with him, but I didn't. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't do it.
No, it's okay. It happens all the time. Just like, it's a slight, something additional to think about it. So don't worry about it too much. But the way you played your gunfight, very slow, patient, good dismiss. I'm happy. Overall, good round.
Need to suffer.
Like where I'm hearing
One
things from.
enemy remaining. Flawless.
Like I thought that KJ's footsteps were the enemy.
They don't have a single life worth saving.
Understandable. I don't know. Valorant's audio sucks. Do you have HRTF on?
Yeah, I think I just turned it on
Okay.
yesterday. Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, Valorant audio just kind of sucks. You'll get used to it.
Placing sentry.
For you, hermanita.
I'm just looking for like fights, right?
Yep. You're just looking to keep fighting people and keep killing, and you'll be good.
Jesus.
You're good. So because your KO was on the other wall, actually,
Spike
I'm
down
down.
A.
You did what you were supposed to do. I don't care. Shit happens. But there's like a high level concept there that was kind of messed up, but you don't worry about it for now. So.
What's it called? Just like for reference.
So basically, it was like, I call it like, okay, there's no like actual word for it, but it's just basically how spacing works with you and your teammates. So your KO is holding the opposite wall. So instead of looking at the angle you looked at, you should have been looking at the angle where you died from because of how your KO was holding.
I thought we were supposed to like double like swing it or something. I don't know.
Double swing it? No. If anything, when you're coming to a cross, you can always blind it, but no. What you did, like, I'm honestly fine with. Like, I don't really care that that happened, if I'm gonna be real. Because I'd rather you look to take fights and then have that happen anyway.
One enemy
Oh
remaining.
my god.
Nasty.
This guy's name is Seaman.
Not nasty.
This guy's name is Seaman. What the hell? You got Seaman and Dami Mommy and then Chicken.
His name is Fat Bitch.
The symphony
What?
of death. Don't worry.
So random.
You get used to it.
Yeah, they have some interesting names, that's for sure.
Oh
Nothing
look,
like-
we have Remy the Mouse and Linguini.
Oh, you do have Remy the Mouse. Linguini. Fat bitch.
I saw one where it was like Subway, like capital Sub, and Domino's, capital Dom. That was creative.
Wait.
Like Sub and Dom.
Oh, Subway and then Domino's.
And like the Sub and the Dom were
Oh,
capitalized.
I like that one.
Enemy spotted.
You're not.
Reloading. Placing sentry.
Enemy spotted A. Return to dust.
Turret down.
One enemy remaining.
Good technique. You know he's top mid. Could be to your right. Does he slow walk? If he slow walks out to his left, I'll be impressed.
Spike planted.
No. He is not
Damn.
going to implement it fast enough.
Why do you let him carry?
Bad.
He's paying our bills.
Yeah, but I'm your girlfriend, baby.
That's true. You know what's
You
funny?
go an hour without me.
Range are hard to replace.
You'll hear this in the recording, by the way.
Oh.
The game is like so much easier now that I'm not thinking about like
Yeah.
smokes and shit.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? How much coordination is happening on your team right now?
None.
So, do you think playing smokes is the best role for these for the elo?
Yeah.
And a role that
You're right.
requires, yeah, exactly. That's why when I saw you playing Omen, I was like, ew, let's get off of that. Unless you're gonna play Omen like Reyna, then I don't care. We
Yeah.
can introduce
Like, I had
roles back once we hit plat, if you want to switch roles off of Reyna.
yeah, definitely want to switch like smokes later.
Yep. And we'll introduce that when it happens. So it's not a big deal.
Did you keep
Placing swarm. Swarm grenade.
every single one he's thrown, man?
Reloading. Area's clear. Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out. Ah, turret down. Found them.
This is good. This is good. Grouped up with your Killjoy. Yes.
You will not kill my ally.
Cutting their vision.
Bad blind technique. That's okay though. Yep. You hold this. No, you should be with your Killjoy. You're on the. No, she's gonna take contact first. No, like you're around her, but you're
One
not with her.
enemy remaining.
Okay, in that scenario, instead of going to the left, you should have been standing near the same angle as Killjoy, just slightly to the left.
Trust
Okay.
my bots.
So you notice how you were all the way to the left? We'll talk about it
Yeah.
afterwards. But you want to be. Ignore the possibility. Oh my god, my nose. Ignore the possibility of you getting collided. Get that fear out of your brain. We don't care, okay?
Okay. Like you mean like okay, so this KO was the KJ like here?
Yeah. Something like that. Pretty damn close. Or you could literally be like slightly to the left if you wanted to.
I was thinking like if he killed KJ, he would just not check this corner, you know?
Yeah, but that's baiting. We don't want to do that.
Okay. Nah, I want to get all the kills myself.
So real.
Feeling sight.
Good flash. I like that.
Sage killed.
Planted. My ult's ready.
Cutting their vision.
Target sighted.
Alright. He's looking to flash the right angle. I'm down with that.
One enemy remaining.
Go
There.
over there, Killjoy. See,
I-
just like that. That is perfect. Okay, exactly how you and Killjoy were postured. Do you see how he didn't call at you, but the second you died, the Killjoy had already killed the Reyna? Because
Yeah.
the Reyna became exposed to you guys at the exact same time.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's why you do it. It's always better to take a 2v1, because imagine that's a good player. He kills your Killjoy, and then he checks the angle and pre-aims you, right? Then it's two separate ones. You never want to take two separate ones when you have the big boy advantage, right? Perfect.
I really panicked that fight too, I think.
Oh yeah, you were like reloading and jumping around.
Feeling sight. Our spike's down. Spike down B.
Placing sentry.
You wanna go around KJ? Towards mid?
What's up? Good.
Last player standing.
I'd pop your ult for this round, by the way. If you get your first kill, you can instant dismiss. They're both in B main, by the way.
Nothing. 30 seconds left.
See how tunnel vision he gets.
No.
Bad gunfight technique.
One enemy remaining.
Nice try. I appreciate the effort. Bad gunfight technique, first gunfight.
Last
That's
round
okay.
and
Yeah.
a half.
You laughed. You're dismiss pathing. When you dismiss, you hurt him behind the box. So you probably should have just went close to it. But it's
No.
okay. Or you could have went back around. You could have went backwards, or you could.
I'll try to like get here.
Yeah, that's like really difficult to do because even though you're invisible, he has an audio cue of where you're going.
He does?
Yeah, there's an audio cue. I'll show it to you after this game.
Okay. That's my
Let's
bad.
get this done.
My heart was like pounding.
You're good. You're good. You're good. It was a good try. It was a good try. I liked it. It was a good try. He's fighting. We fight with them. Perfect. Exactly. You see how you fought with your Killjoy as she peeked? Beautiful. That's exactly what I want.
Cutting their vision.
Two suppressed. Flash.
One enemy remaining. Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Reloading. Dead.
Nice, nice. When you're in a +2 or +3 situation, just say screw it with your blinds majority of the time. Like 99% of the time, you just don't even care about your blind, and you should just have your gun out. So that way you can trade the KO. Because you notice how you pulled your blind out? If that other
Yeah,
person
he
won the
started
fight onto your KO, like let's say you dodged the flash and then killed your KO, then it would have been 2 1v1s, right? So instead you want to just have
Yeah.
your gun out and trade them. But that's okay. These are just smaller things that I'm bringing up because I think honestly, you can take it.
A pretty strong mental from dealing with Overwatch toxicity. So
That game is ass, by the way. Like not ass. Like I was a top 500 player in Overwatch 1, and I was like GM like 2 in Overwatch 2 or something. But like, my God, the game is wild. Oh, that's all 5. You just run it. Yeah.
oh,
Enemy spotted B.
Spike planted.
Stand down. Reloading.
This is gonna be nearly impossible. You just gotta go into the fucking smoke and pray. This is fucked.
Good attack. Reloading.
One enemy
Enemy
remaining.
spotted B. Here. I will not die.
Last player standing.
30 on him.
Clutch.
Ah, damn.
While you're here and there, you could have reloaded, but nice try. That's the only difference that would have made there. It was a really good try, honestly.
Make sure to cover the
Yeah.
angles I can't.
Do I full save these?
You can buy Sheriff, and just nothing else. You can buy an extra heal if you want to as well. Because you go in Vandal Light on next round, and it's like fine. But if you want to make sure, some people really don't like buying the Sheriff. You can just full save if you want to, and you can go Classic. It's up to you, genuinely.
Like sure, usually.
Yeah, and then you can go Vandal Light Armor next round. Also in that situation, by the way, think about the 2v1, right? Oh wow, I'll let you fight, and I'll talk about it later.
Target sighted.
Stealing sight.
So now you and Sage were in a 2v1, and she was defusing, right? If you would have stood slightly to the right of the Sage, so where you're still taking first contact,
Last
but
player standing.
you're not peeking out, then as the
Spike
Sage would have been
planted.
1 been able to get half, and then 2 trade you the second the other person started fighting you, because of how close she would have been to the Sage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like the same concept of like, you want to be slightly farther out and exposed, but you don't want to go like super far forward and just look for the fight, right? Just something
I
small.
shouldn't have like okay. So I shouldn't have looked for the fight.
Yeah, you
there.
should have went with the Sage to where the bomb was and then stood slightly to the right of her. So like, whatever. Now, if the bomb's really close to being defused, then you want to swing out wider and keep looking to take the fight, right? If it's really close, like, let's say she's halfway through the second half, then you can go wide, right? Because then the stalling's more important. there's like a lot of these nuances and stuff of like positioning, but like the main thing I'm focusing on right now is how, one, to position around your teammates, and how, two, how to focus on your mechanics, and then your mindset of like, I want to kill people over playing safe.
Deep breaths, everyone.
Now we have Vandal here.
Your hearts are pounding.
And you can buy some leaders if you want. Or one. There, perfect. The goal here is to take long range gunfights because they have specters, and if you're too close to them, it's gonna suck because they can running.
Ares the close range gun as well.
It's like a medium range, medium close range gun. Can work at long ranges though, but I'd say it's more medium because the kickback on that shit's crazy.
Turret out.
Talk about this later. But...
Reloading. Target sighted.
Unlucky.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
I feel like it happens with me a lot where I start good and then I start choking.
I don't think you're choking. I'm gonna be honest. I think you're overthinking it. I don't think you're choking. Like truthfully, just keep trying to shoot people. Like you're fine. Like you are playing fine. Like you getting running on there. Yeah, better player might have killed that person. But I'm not too concerned about it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you're like doing anything fundamentally bad. I would not play mid with a sheriff though. That is the one thing I wouldn't do. Because it's just a long range gunfight. And sheriff, you want to be sub 30 meters, right? Yeah, playing this mid is fine with the sheriff.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Here. Turret down.
Spike planted.
Nice shot. Nice shot.
Player standing.
So when we're down,
You should do the
Do I
exact
still-
opposite. Just look for a fight.
okay,
You know
okay.
what I'm saying? So the thing about numbers is like, when you're in one situation, if you know one, and the exact opposite situation, what do you want the enemy team to do? Give you 1v1s, right? And take the fights? Like you want them to come peek you.
Yeah.
Because if you get the 1v1, then you have your way back into the route, right? So it's the exact same concept, right? It's just you are in the opposite side of it. And you can Vandal full armor here, it's fine. Don't worry too much about buying with your team, because you can always Vandal light armor. The best part about Reyna is you basically always have a Vandal.
Turret out. Don't overthink it. That's my job.
Parasite.
Here. Enemy spotted mid.
Reloading.
Spike planted.
Enemy spotted
Last
B.
player standing.
I want you rotating faster. When they take contact somewhere, I want you to be there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like after you killed the Raiden and you saw there was a bunch B main, I just want you there. Like I want you like basically after you get that kill, you knife out sprint towards B main.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure they're gonna go A here. I'm not gonna tell you why I know they're gonna go A, but I would just go play A. Because I'm 90% positive they're gonna go A.
You want me to go A, you said?
Yeah, just go A this round. I've just got a sneaking suspicion. We're not focused on why I know this, but just to allow you to get more gunfights in, I want you to go play A.
The hunt begins.
Barrier created.
All right, you can rotate away now.
You're right.
Yep.
I was looking at the map.
Turret down.
Found them. Reloading.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
No more.
Good job.
Like I said, like you were looking at how
Well, yeah.
where they were going.
I mean,
Okay.
this isn't something I don't care for you to focus on that because we're gonna add that once you hit gold, like reading your enemies. But like, if you want to try to read your enemies, go for it. But don't overthink it too much because I don't want that to be your focus. Like, if you have a guess, you're like, oh, I think they're gonna go here this round, then go for it. But like, other than that, like, do whatever. Like, I'm not gonna tell you where they go again because that would just be me cheating then at that point. But like, I just wanted you to get more reps, and I know exactly where they're going this round. If you watch this VOD back, they're going B. Yep, rotate, yep. Like that.
Fire in the hole! Almost down. My ultimate is ready. Initiated. Reloading. Reloading.
Cool.
With a heavy pen weapon, it is, by the way.
Area's clear.
But you have a medium pen.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Yeah. I'm down. You regrouped with your Killjoy. You also could have went with your Sage, who was
Diffuse the
pushing down the
spike.
map as well,
Diffuse
but
the
going with your
spike.
Killjoy is not
Diffuse the
bad. Well, that Sage is really nervous about the bomb.
Honestly, I would have been the same way.
It's okay.
Together, we will bury them under their transgressions. Anyone need anything?
I got money. Need something?
Anyone need anything?
Viper, you can sell your Marshall. We can buy for you.
Kill them.
Turret out. Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade.
Spike planted. Sick.
They will cower. See nothing.
Blind. Last player standing.
Nice try, nice try. Good try. Crosshair placement a little bit low. Other than that, you know, I'm down for it. But you notice how they double swung you, and it didn't matter even
Yeah.
if you platted them because they were both fighting you, and it's a little hard, right? Now, if you're God's gift, you headshot the first one, dismiss, insta undismiss because he thinks you're going away, and then you headshot him again. No, I'm just kidding. Don't worry about it.
You're right. Should have done that.
Yeah, I agree. You know, shitty student. No, I'm joking. Someone go B with KO.
Why is she still buying Spectre?
Everyone has that phase. close, close. It's okay. He's using Odin. All that is just you have to headshot him. Like, you have the advantage in that fight, so I'm down for it. By the way, the reason why he's using the Spectre is every Valorant player has a phase where they go Spectre only, normally, if they're not like into coaching content or actually improving. So, she's in that, just because the gun's easy to use, it feels good to use. She's just in that
Holy
phase.
no way. Oh.
Oh, that was close. That was a good try.
I feel like for me, like the Spectre is just so hard to use. Like, I'd rather have that long range capability too, you know?
Yeah, a lot of, it's just like a phase that Valorant players go through in lower elos for some reason. They just really like the Spectre. But yeah, I mean,
One enemy remaining.
oh, he didn't get it. Let's try that. Ooh.
Oh, rip.
It's okay.
I know what must be done.
Suppress it.
Cutting their vision. You're done.
Nice! Oh, I'm not muted. That was a good play, though. Got the kill. Grabbed it, dismissed. The only thing I can say is you can look for a one-shot Andy and then dismiss afterwards. It's okay, it's okay. The only thing I can really add to your play is when you went for that dismiss, it was cool, but you should have went for like a one-bullet kill, if that makes sense, and then dismiss afterwards.
Oh, okay.
But it was
Try my
good.
luck.
It was good. It was good. Yeah, because like there's no point, right? Like there's no point in just like full dismissing when you could go for a kill potentially and get it. You never know, right?
What the hell is this gun?
The Odin. The new friendly ADS weapon. Yeah, it was okay. It was a good try though.
Oh, that's called Boba?
Look at me.
Yeah.
I know that I am by your side.
Boba Tea. Just keep going B, by the way. Choose how you want to fight it. I don't care how you fight it. Just play general area B. Oh, we do have a Killjoy ult. Look at your teammates trying to set up some coordination. Basically, don't play offsite though. Play for like your one, and then look to dismiss offsite. You never want to just give the whole site, if that makes sense.
The hunt begins. Oh yeah! Monster
Fast
on the
rotation,
loose!
not contact.
Spike planted.
Shutting them down. Flashbang.
Fire in the hole!
Throwing charge.
Last player standing. Match point.
Once more into battle. I'm not tired. Are you?
That ult's off rip.
Yeah, I'm down for a gunfight.
We win, we survive.
They will cover.
Oh, I couldn't E in time.
Yeah, that's like one of the weird parts is where when you go in for that peek like that and you know you're peeking into 4 people, it's a kill into an instant dismiss. Like you're smashing the E button as you kill, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's something you'll have to get used to, but that's only when you're peeking so many people at the same time, and you know you're gonna die fast. That's all.
Fitting A.
Found them. Initiated.
Holy shit. God.
Spike planted.
Oh, Ronnie.
That was a nice try though. It's all good.
What is this guy doing?
Last player standing.
I don't know.
This guy's. Oh my! I almost reported this guy. This guy.
It's all good. It happens. I mean, like, you know. I think they're just a little confused. It was a good try. Not a bad game. Remember, if there's one thing I want you to seriously remember, is you winning or losing the game does not matter. You just keep playing and do as I ask.
Yeah, I know that, but I just like.
Yeah,
I'd
you
rather
like
win,
winning.
you know?
Yeah,
I'd
you'd
rather win.
I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. I understand. I would also rather win too. That's okay. Fights were good. You were practicing some good concepts. You were testing your limits. I'm down for it, so I don't really care. That's literally all we need from you. So your tasks. There's nothing I'm really gonna add too much to your tasks. You already have a good foundation of what you're doing. You only lost 10 RR. Holy shit. You're the goat.
Performance bonus.
So the tasks that we're gonna add is what I call dry walkthroughs. They're very basic to do. This is to help you become more accustomed to the maps very quickly. So we'll just use this map as an example. All I want you to do is become aware of where everything is. So for
Get back
example,
into
you're
your
gonna
thing.
yeah. Let me know when you're here.
Okay, sorry, I had to find it. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So this is dry walkthroughs. So the whole point is to treat the map as in sections. So for example, there's B main, there's mid, there's A main, right? And you as a person, and then also on CT, there's retake B, retake A, and then walking through mid. So I just want you to peek angles as if you're aware of them. So just like walk around and just find yourself like stepping on angles and like peeking them. Does that make sense? Don't do the crouch thing
That's
that I was
crazy.
doing.
That's actually on my to-do list.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that's on your to-do list. Yeah, we'll just add this into your tasks. Where these are just called dry walkthroughs because you're so new to the game. We want you to become aware of the angles that exist, and then also when you clear an angle, I want you to look at it and be like, "What am I exposed to?" Like after you clear an angle, right? Just be like, "Okay."
When you say like when I'm doing this, am I clearing all angles?
Yeah,
And like how like am I like slicing it? Am I like just
yeah.
wide
So
swinging like crazy?
you're peeking the angle. So my peeking the angle is obviously gonna be I'm gonna be able to clear angles much faster than you ever will. Well, not ever, but like you know what I'm saying, like
Probably
now,
ever.
right now, right? Like I'll be able to like slice
Yeah,
the
yeah.
angle, slice the angle, recognize, and keep going way faster than you will. But for example, for you, if you're peeking this, you should just be aware that like somebody could swing you from main. But that doesn't mean to be scared to peek it. That just means you hard clear and then you immediately snap back to main. Does that make sense? Like you hard clear, snap back to main. So for example, if you're like looking out here and you're like clearing this angle, and if you've cleared these, and then you can come clear this angle. Does that make sense? It's like when you're peeking, understand what angles you're exposed to, and just kind of go from there, right? This seems like a fun corner just to sit in. I don't know why, but as a Reyna, I feel like I would sit in this corner, look for the fight, and then dismiss, and I'd hop back here. But I don't know why. It just seems like an angle nobody would ever clear. Like they'd look in this general direction, like they'd peek into it. They'd be like, "Oh, up here," but then you're just there. It'd be funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is kind of like the way I want you to think of it. So it's like, okay, I'm coming from B main. What do I have to clear? I have to clear this. Like, I have to clear this. 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 Right? I have to clear this general area. Right? So I'm probably gonna aim up here, and then I'm gonna clear this. Like, look around this area. And then if I can clear this, which I can now, and this is an angle I learned you can clear this without exposing yourself to this. So this is not a true crossfire, and you just need to take that in your memory. Remember how you're fighting this guy? You can actually walk up here, take this fight, dismiss back, without ever actually exposing yourself to this person. You don't even need to dismiss if you don't have to, but take this, and then you can walk up, and now we can go clear this. Does that make sense? Like, I just want you being aware of whatever angle you peek. Oh, I'm actually exposed to this angle. I didn't realize that. Okay, let me see. Can I peek that angle first? Oh, so I should approach it like that. Does that make sense? That's how I want you to do your dry runs and put thought into it. You can do like whatever map you want to, or you can do like 3 maps a day, or you can do every map a day if you want to be an overachiever, but I don't think you have the time for that. But like, you can do a couple maps a day of whatever you're the least comfortable on, and just get more used to the maps. Remember, doing this every day. This is a drill that I call a 2-week max drill, where you do it for 2 weeks, and then you have to take a 2-week break before you're able to do it again. Do you know why I say that?
So you might be building bad habits.
Not that you'd be building bad habits. You'd start autopiloting. You'd be like, oh, well, I know this angle exists. I know this angle exists, right? And you wouldn't be looking to find new things, so you do it for 2 weeks straight. And then after you've done it for 2 weeks, you take a 2-week break, and then you revisit it. It's kind of like if you've ever rewatched a show after taking a break from it, you'll start to notice new things.
Yeah.
Same concept. Same, like literally same concept. So for example, when you died to this guy here, notice how you peeked him here? You peek this. When I'm peeking this, I'm exposed to this, right? So instead, what if I go back here and peek here, and then I go up forward? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's the exact same concept, and that's why I was like, oh, it's like angles. Like, you just don't know the angles on the map. And that's why you died. But also at the same time, it's just like, doop, 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 doop. Common off angle, most likely angle, right? So it's like angle, 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 to do.
But you said common off angle?
Yeah, so common off angle is in theory like something like this, where like somebody would logically play to give themselves an advantage, but still be near this corner, but not actually be in it, because off angles are essentially you're baiting this corner. That's what you're doing. You're baiting this corner. So the most common off angle is probably like right here for this angle specifically. And then you peek the off angle. Like, I don't want you slicing here, 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 right? I just want you going here, here. Does that make sense? Because, like, if anybody's in this area, I expect you to be able to react, right? If you go here and you flick this, I expect you to be able to make this general shot, right? And if you miss, it's whatever. It's not a big deal, right? Other than that, I think your rig games equals your ramp warm-up, so I'm down. And then you said...
what?
Your warm-up that you have, like the ramp thing. Like, I'm shocked that you did that. Most people don't even know what that term is, so I'm happy that you do. I don't even have to explain it. So you keep doing your warm-up, and then what do you play? One or two DMs or after, like before?
I just do like eliminate 100 twice and then go.
Oh, elim 100 twice. Let me ask you: do you like playing DMs or TDMs over elim 100?
Honestly, I hate doing them, but I like I have to like force myself.
No, don't. Don't. If you warming up is all subjective. Whatever makes you feel the most comfortable, do your elim 100. Elim 100 2x for your warm up. So warm up, ramp plus elim. I'm just gonna say 200 because it makes it easier. Elim 200, right? And then rank games. 3x per day, or how many you can fit in. Cap of 7. And then TDMs, or not TDMs, your fucking, what's it called? Whatever your drills are, like whatever routine you're doing right now, keep doing it. I'm down. I don't really have anything to add. And then after, if you have extra time, just do the walkthroughs.
Okay.
But like genuinely, there's nothing really for me to add other than the actual notes itself, because your routine that you do right now is really on track. We just need you to make sure that you're constantly picking, like, the only reason why I have you picking Reyna until, like, basically Platinum is because that's when people really start caring, and that's when they really start, like, you're not going to get calms every game. You're going to get a lot of people who don't calm, doesn't matter, but that's when people try to somewhat formulate teamwork, right?
Okay.
And then in Gold, we're going to teach you how to start reading enemies, so that way you can be in more fights. And then in Plat, it's going to allow you to start communicating and being more effective with your comms, because you'll already understand where it is, and you'll just have to put it into words. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So yeah, this is so I'm gonna copy paste my notes, but it's gonna look a little bit like a lot, but it's really not, right? Because movement, one direction focus. In case if you need me to more explain that, make sure we aren't pressing W plus D or S or S plus A, etc., while peeking angles. Dismiss first heal. Dismiss info. Randomly to make sure that we're blinding with intent on angles. Plus, throw low if taking close range fight with blind. Does that make sense? Oh my god. Wait, does that make sense? Make sure I'm not
For the blind, right?
yeah, for the blind.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Small notes. I added a couple things in there. Don't plant while the enemy is fighting us on site. I saw you in the first round. You planted the bomb while the enemy was still fighting you guys. Just tap the bomb. Keep fighting with your team. Doesn't matter. All I want you to do is focus on your kills, because like I don't want you ever dying planting the bomb. Essentially, if you kill one, expect a second one. So this is something you do. You'll immediately kill one, and then you'll kind of forget that another person could potentially be there. Does that make sense? So if you kill one, expect that there's going to be a second one for like 2 to 3 seconds, and then you can make your decision. Okay, I'm going to heal. Okay, I'm going to maybe dismiss away something, right? Whatever you need to do. On Reyna, let's buy Sheriff second round. That was just something I add. Let's see. Oh yeah, so this is a small note I added. If active ult, you can look at character models to see if it's used or not. If you didn't get the sound effect. So for example, there's a time where a Deadlock ulted, and you hid even though the ult had already been used, but you didn't hear the audio cue, and the reason why you didn't hear it is because it was probably just shot out of your audio range, right? But you can always look at the top players to see if the ult is either gray or not active anymore. That's like a
So
small thing.
if they can use it, it's like orange or something, and then if they're using it, it's green.
Okay. If they can use it, it's like I'm colorblind, but it's like glowing
Me too.
brighter.
That's like
It's like brighter orange, and then it's like slightly duller if it's like in use currently, like they can use it, and then it's non-existent if they can't use it anymore.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, I think
Is there like a colorblind setting?
there is for if you look at my stream, I think I'm still in Valorant. If you go to general, you can make your outlines. So like for example, I've got really bad color blindness, so I just use yellow as my enemy outline. A lot of people use yellow anyway, but it just helps me a lot with making sure they don't blend into walls, that sort of stuff. But other than that, oh, can you stream and actually open your video settings for me real quick? So I think I wanted to change something in your video settings because I was seeing it and it was bothering me. Go to your settings, do your video. Go to graphics quality. Okay, never mind. I would turn off anti-aliasing and anastrophic filtering, but other than that, I think you're basically.
This is the thing that makes it like kind of blurry, you know? And it's not, and it's
yeah,
traffic.
you don't want it to be blurry. That's why I was like, that's why we should just turn it to 1x.
Yeah.
Wait, doesn't 1x make? No, I swear 1x makes it look better. Go to the range and test it for me real quick. I swear that the higher that number is, the more blurry it looks. Unless I'm stupid.
Really?
Yeah, because every pro player I've ever seen has that at 1x for like a specific reason. Turn practice on.
Oh my god, yellow.
Yep, now turn it to 16x.
Wait, what the hell? Oh.
Quality. Or turn it, yeah. Yeah, to me it looks like slightly blurrier. I don't know if that's just a placebo, but like, or maybe I can't even tell. I actually don't even know what it is.
Yeah, I can't even tell.
Wait, what the fuck? Wait, what does it do? Wait, hover over it. You can hover over it and it tells you what it does.
Other than I'm moving, it's just like.
You can hover over it, like literally through mouse, and it should highlight what it does. I think.
It doesn't do anything.
You have to hover over the word itself. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you're doing. Okay, well maybe not. Why does it do it for some but not for others?
Yeah, sometimes like I can scroll through like if I'm looking at like agents or like this or like collection or whatever, I can scroll, but sometimes I can't. I think it's like a bug.
Yeah, I mean your settings look fine. I mean I would turn those off just in case, but
I think it's sharper actually.
I think we're.
Oh yeah, it's definitely sharper.
Sharper. What does that even mean?
Like the lines on this guy. It's a little bit blurrier. Like I don't know if you can see like there's like I can see like pixels on this guy's leg on this line right here. And then now it's like straight.
I'm not sure. Let me open my range and test it. Maybe I need to look at the settings guide.
By the way, what is MaxBot?
Huh?
What is MaxBot gameplay VO and MaxBot flavor VO?
I have no clue. I'm guessing, I don't know, I've never looked at those settings. I can figure out for you if you want me to, but I have no honest
That's
answer.
okay. That's probably not that big of a thing.
I don't know what you're seeing, man. I'm tripping out now. I don't see it.
Wait, like just stare at like the thigh area.
I am.
Oh,
I don't know what you're seeing.
when it's like 1x for me, it like makes it a little bit more like pixely.
Let's go really close. That should help me.
I can see it better from further away.
There's more pixels close, right?
Yeah, but when I don't know, when I'm far, it looks, I can tell the difference better. But like it's kind of minor. It's not like a big thing.
I'm gonna Google it. Okay, it does make it look sharper with a slight performance cost, so you are correct. But like if your PC's a beast, I guess it's good to have on. To me, it
Come
looks,
on.
I don't know why, but it looks blurrier for me. That must be tripping, bro. Yeah, it does give the game a slightly sharper look, I guess.
Like it's pretty slight.
I can't tell the difference, I'm gonna be honest, but I'll leave it on now. Alright, with that being said, I'm gonna stop the recording, and